Robin is with us. Robin, we don't know the 11 right now, but you wouldn't be surprised if Shardul Thakur is named there.
Oh no, absolutely not. As in the kind of wicket that we've seen in Delhi in this World Cup so far, I think the game against South Africa and Sri Lanka, you saw the wicket was a belter and quite unlike the kind of bounce that we generally see in Delhi. It had nice bounce and had a lot of purchase for pickup shots. So for me, that is a sign that you don't want to play a third spinner there. You probably want to play an extra fast bowler to utilize that bounce. And Shardul Thakur is one of the golden arms who's always found a way to take wickets, and even if he's a little expensive, he ends up getting a lot of wickets. So I think Shardul Thakur will come in for Ravichandran Ashwin and will be the fourth fast bowler and in that lineup along with Hardik and
Robin, as you pointed out, even before the 11 was announced, that Shardul Thakur in these sort of conditions should come in. One other thing that we forget about Shardul, one, that you had to take the spinner out because of shorter boundaries too. The other thing that we forget about Shardul, he is a wicket taker. Sometimes he does end up leaking run, but he is a wicket taker, so gives you another wicket taking options in the 11 today.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's someone who has this uncanny ability to take wickets when you least expect it. And I saw one of his interviews with Ian Bishop where he was telling Bish that there are certain deliveries that I don't know what's going to happen. So if I don't know what's going to happen, how does the batter know what's going to happen? So he's got a few tricks up his sleeve, and he's always been effective. Like you said, there are certain times he can be expensive, and when he does leak runs and he doesn't get wickets, his figures don't look great. But more often than not, he's always erred on the side or fell on the side of taking wickets. So that makes him a deceptive bowler, not one that you can take for granted. And that makes him quite a dangerous entity in a team. So along with the likes of a Kuldeep Yadav and a Jadeja and Siraj and Bumrah, it makes it a very heavily packed bowling lineup for Afghanistan to contend against. And on these conditions, and Shardul has played in these conditions, say for Delhi as well. So the Delhi Capitals in the IPL. So he knows these conditions and he knows what it takes to get wickets on these conditions as well. So you can be certain that he will look to take wickets irrespective of if he's leaking runs or not.
The few things that we spoke about, Robin, why they would have thought of making that change is also because of the conditions. You bring in a fast bowler. Could another thought be the fact that Afghanistan has such good spinners, so their batters often get to face a lot of spin in the net, so they'd be slightly better against those spinners? That could be another thing why India may have decided, let's go in with those 4 fast bowlers?
Not necessarily. I think that the thought process would have been, let's focus on our strengths. The Indian think tank would have thought about, in these conditions, what are our best options to get a solid bowling lineup out on the field. And they would have thought, on a wicket where there is a lot of bounce. We already have 2 of our main spinners there, so there's no necessity for a third spinner. Probably a necessity for an extra fast bowler there, also because Hardik Pandya has got a little bit of a concern with his middle finger, which on his bowling hand. So to probably mitigate that a little bit, to also have that extra cushion, Shardul Thakur would have been the automatic kind of choice, is what I think.
Robin, what did you make of the decision taken at the toss? Because most people, you yourself, were of the opinion it's best always to be chasing here in Delhi. But Afghanistan win the toss and have decided to bat first. Is it also because they may somewhere realize that their stronger suit is their bowling? So, bat first, put on some runs, and then they can control the game in the second inning because that's their strength?
Oh yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. I think the fact that their bowling is much stronger than their batting, they've gone with that option. You have to understand that they are an incredibly dangerous T20 side, but they haven't got all their cards right as far as one day cricket's concerned. They haven't kind of ticked all their boxes, and their approach to one day cricket is very similar to that of T20 cricket. They like to play on the attack. They like to take the attack to the bowlers when they are playing in one day cricket as well. But there is an ebb and flow to one day cricket that a lot of, say, Gen Z players are not kind of figuring out just yet. That pursuit to play hyper aggressive cricket is still there, and there is an ebb and flow to one day cricket that the likes of, say, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul have kind of figured out and understood that not a lot of the Gen Z players have understood yet. And Afghanistan, a lot of their batters are Gen Z batters. So I think they still have to figure that out. And they will find that sweet spot in time, and they will be a dangerous team in time in one day cricket, but not just yet. So I think keeping that in mind, they want to give their bowlers a better chance, take the pressure off the batters, and score as many runs as possible, and give the bowlers a chance to defend that score.
The other thing that we're getting to hear from the ground, Robin, is that Rohit Sharma came out and said that, you know what, if we had won the toss, we would have also batted first. Does that surprise you a bit? And I'll give you some local knowledge. I was, on a cricket field over the weekend, and it was really, really wet, very, very wet. So which gives you an idea that there is a lot of dew overnight. Maybe from evening onwards, you will get some dew in Delhi. We're going to be hitting winters here, so you get a lot of dew. With that in mind, you're a bit surprised that Rohit himself said that he'll bat first?
Well, not really, because see, the thing is, you also, it's a long tournament. You want your batters also to be in good form, and you want all of them to get an opportunity to bat as well. And after the last game, the likes of Ishan Kishan, for him, the way I see it, when Shubman Gill's fit again, he walks back into the side, right? So in the limited opportunities that Ishan Kishan is going to get in this World Cup, he wants to be amongst the runs, and you want to have your reserve players amongst the runs as well. Your backup players amongst the runs as well. And after the Asia Cup, that 18 the Asia Cup, he's had a little bit of a lull. And you want to give your opportunities to batters like him, Shreyas Iyer, and the likes of Rohit Sharma as well, because he's been amongst the runs as well. So you want to be able to put yourself in different positions as a team as well. So from different perspectives, there is a benefit in batting first and putting your bowlers under a little bit of pressure, because you know that when the winter is set in India, there's going to be dew at play in most grounds, especially that transition between monsoon and winter. There is going to be a lot of dew, so you want to put your players under those kind of situations, because in the back end of the tournament, you are going to encounter those situations. And if you find yourselves in the deep end, then you want to have at least a little bit of experience or a little bit of adjustment space to it. And so I'm not surprised that Rohit Sharma said what he said at the toss.
But a big day, Robin, for Virat Kohli as well, playing on his home ground. In fact, he'll be batting in front of a pavilion that's named after him. Is there always added pressure when you're playing on your home ground, or do you feel at home and you have that extra confidence because every little thing, probably every little blade of grass, you're familiar with?
Oh, absolutely. I think it wouldn't be pressure. I think it'd be a privilege. I think that's how Virat would perceive it. If there's pressure from any kind of aspect, it would be the fact that it's probably his last one-day World Cup, and he probably wants to get it done in front of his home crowd at his home ground. That could be the only thing that probably would kind of. But he handles pressure so well. I don't even think it'll bother him, to be very honest. But I definitely think that this matchup is one to watch out for. Having said that, I think Virat has gotten to a space where you can see a much more calmer, much more, I would say, at least over the last couple of months, you've seen a much more docile kind of Virat who's kind of mature. He's kind of maturing into fine wine, if I may say so. And I like the attitude that he's chosen over the last couple of months. It seems more one that suits him and that looks good on him. And you still see him expressing himself. He's having fun on the field, but it's a little more subdued, and it's one that I'm quite enjoying of Virat Kohli, actually.
Time to take a final question with Robin. Robin, put on your thinking cap, give us a prediction of sorts. We saw Afghanistan on a flat pitch in Dharamshala, really underwhelmed. Can their batting get it right this time? We heard from the Afghanistan camp saying that was one bad day. Or do you think they'll find it tough once again with that extra bounce against this Indian bowling lineup?
Well, I think the first 10 overs are very crucial, to be very honest. And if they get past the first 10 overs with very few dismissals, I think they'll still get under 250. That's my instinct here. I feel like, and they'll get to under 250. I think because of the size of the ground and the nature of the wicket. If they survive the first 10 overs, they have a great chance of getting to 250 or a little under 250.
All right, Robin, we'll leave it at that. But thank you so much for taking your time speaking to us.